Millennials, Millennial Chronicles. I think since we are young, we've been raised with so much pressure that we need to cope up and be this. At a tender age, whether you're male or female, most of the examples will be do this for if you meet this man or woman or, with a marriage-like concept. And right now, when you look at most millennials, it's something I notice with concern and something I notice quite a lot among us is when you come to the millennials, when you look at the relationship between millennials and a Gen Z, we are falling under the most hurt, broken, angry, bitter, hypersensitive, hypervigilant, like everything we wish we never were, because we've been stuck in two phases, unlearning and learning. And you're trying to unlearn everything the boomers told us, from family to extension to society, and then learning what we've now learned over time, and then realizing we got played at some point, and then also learning at the same time that when you stand up for something, the boomer generation will look at you like, no, not supposed to be like that, but they are stuck within the colonial, or let's call it the policing way of life, and we are from the point of no, it's not supposed to be like that. I remember having a conversation with someone. I was like, the saddest thing is most millennials, not that they are not hardworking, not that they don't have it all figured out. Every opportunity they try, they're stuck within these two areas, learning and unlearning. Even in their leadership, they have to unlearn and learn. That's why we have this war between the millennial and Gen Z generation, whereby sometimes when the Gen Z will stand up and they'll go do something, a millennial will be like, something bad will happen. But no, nothing bad will happen. They'll just wake up and they'll do something, and they will succeed. Because from your because when you tried, you are hit so hard, hit the ground so hard, and then you thought, this is the way it's supposed to be. And you're trying to unlearn even relationships. Who are the most toxic and bitter people? Man, it falls under us, the millennials, because you finish high school or campus with the mindset like, I'm gonna miss someone is going to be, going to have it figured out. The whole dream home thing: get a job, get a spouse, get kids, have some properties, yada yada yada. Knock of reality. None of that do you have. You only have you as a person and the documents you have, and maybe your phone or a laptop, or a few things here and there you've acquired over time, which you still have. If you look at the boomer generation, they have the land, they have this, they have that. If you look at the Gen Z, they're like, whatever, man, I can sleep on a tent. I can, they don't really. And the problem is, within the millennial, we find so many bitter people. Even within a working environment, when they see a Gen Z walk in, they'll want to say, you Gen Z, you Gen Z. Why? Because them as millennials, the boomers will say, you millennial, you millennial. So someone has to like break the whole, I don't know if it's the generational curse, but there's that veil that has to be put down. That curtain has to be split, done for. Because we can't carry the bitterness or the pain we endured from the prior generation of the failed times we tried to rise up in something and we were failed. And that's why the Gen Z they move like wildfire. Not because they don't feel it. They just saw what happened to you. They're like, I'm not taking that hit. I'm going, get what's mine. And even when you look at some of the people who want to see others fall, they will fall under this too. If they're not within the boomer, they'll fall within the millennial, most likely, because they are like, if I snitch on this, if I do bad on this person, I'll get a title, just a name tag, and this other person is thinking, I just want to do that, and I left. So there's so much pain. And that's why I'm saying there's so much for millennials to unlearn, to learn. because we how would I put it? We've survived the COVID. We've survived pretty much many disasters that were like happened. Like there's this joke that is, by the time, are we even going to reach 40? That's like a joke sometimes that's been put out, because like the war seems to be ending before we even started. Like, like the boomers already have, they've done the home, they've done the family, yada yada yada. You're thinking, I'm not even in a stable environment. My business hasn't picked up, and I've done everything right. Am I really gonna reach there? And when you're dating, you're thinking, even if you date, and the world seems to be going to another world, oh, what's the point? And so we are always, I want to, but is it really worth it at the end of the day? And that's why I call it the Chronicles, because we don't say it, but when you sit with another one, you realize, oh, you too. Oh, you too. Oh, you too. Most of us have pets. Like I just have a cat and a dog, and I'm pretty much happy with that. And I remember when I'd be introduced family-wise to another person, like, how, you look like supposed to have a family and everything. So I used to ask, is it an achievement? Not that I wouldn't want to have a family, but the character development out here is brutal. Why? Because you meet one person who went through pain, and then they decide you'll pay for what they went through from X1, 2, 3, and then you pick it, and then you do the same to another person. That by God's grace you come to your understanding and now have to make peace with the person you hurt or the people you hurt because of someone who hurt you, and then have to come back to your own senses and realize, I think this is a time I just need to be self-aware and I need my breathing. You look at careers, you look at businesses. You've tried it out, you're doing all digital and all these different platforms, you're building it up, you're not picking. Not because you're not doing it right. Your time will come. Patience has become a virtue. Sometimes someone told me, are you not angry? I'm like, I've gotten so much angry until even anger is bored with me. Why? Because what's the word? What's the point? You do this, this happens. You jump here, this happens. You ride, this happens. So you know what? I'm going to bite what I can chew. And sometimes it gets so depressing, because sometimes you really end up isolating, because you want to come to an event and then you see everybody is one by one, couple, car. You took public transportation. First you have to first you have to budget your way to reach to where you're going. And then should you find yourself in a group where they want to do like a chama, or they want to do anything like a fundraiser or anything, everybody is removing 1,000 plus. My man, you have 100 shillings, or let's just say you have 50, or let's say you have 200, and that's all you have. And then these groups where there's a funeral or it's an event where they kind of put people in WhatsApp groups or different whatever platform it may be, and then they put the name, this is mostly within the WhatsApp groups, and they put the name of how people are contributing, and they are thinking, I only have 50 shillings. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to call this person, and I'm going to say, that's something I've done a lot. I would call whoever is the collector of the treasure or whoever, and then send them, I only have 50 shillings. And they're like, okay, no worries, we'll put you on the list. I'm like, if you're putting me on the list, call me anonymous. That way, nobody knows who I am. Because you're having a moment of, people might DM you and start thinking, oh, you are so poor. Huh? I just had 50 shillings. That's all I had. How is that making me poor? Okay, maybe I am. I don't know. But I just have 50 shillings. Let's not blow a case beyond 50 shillings. But as usual, people will blow a case more than 50 shillings. And that's where it gets very, very interesting. So I would challenge that we look at things from a totally different perspective and pick the battles we can pick, drop the battles that are not ours, and move on. And we don't need to be caught up in what happened to the boomers, the pain, the trauma, and then we pick it, and then we throw to the next generation, and then the alpha generation, which after the Gen Z, will be thinking, must I be bitter like that one? Or we can be the different one. Well, that won't be easy. It never is. But Must you be married to be happy? Must you have a car to be happy? Must you have all those things to be happy? Nah. If your happiness is tagged to material things, you're not happy. You're struggling with something. It's deep. And that won't feed in. Not everyone who have a child wanted to have a child because they wanted to have a child, if that makes sense. Some is the pressure of having a child, or the competition of the spouse, and the spouse might be taken, or the boyfriend or the girlfriend may be taken by someone else, and that's the kid. So the kid came into this person's life from a competitive mindset, not from, I am in a place where I want to have this child. So I'm saying, just because everyone is driving, cool beans. Just because everyone is marrying, cool beans. Just because everyone is traveling to country A, B, cool beans. Pick the battles you can pick. Live in a budget that you can manage. Handle what you can handle. Life is already hard enough. How hard can we make it right now? Governments are finishing us from every edge. Just pick the battles you can pick. So if you're single and they're asking you, why don't you have a BCD? I'm like, oh, can we start talking about your marriage now? Are you really happy? Are you really happy? Should I be depressed in your depression? Or they tell you, if you go to this country or ABCD, you won't make it. Was I with you? What did you do in that country? Me, I don't know. I don't know your story. I'll do my own thing. Pursue what you want to pursue. You don't have to be top tier. Start where you start. You don't need to have it all figured out. You don't have to have all this job. I hate this corporate mindset where people have made it look like if you can't, they call it odd jobs. I have a question. What's an odd job? Because as long as I'm able to put food on the table, whether I can sell my granules or sell my chicken, whether I'll sell ice cream, whether I work in a hardware, whether I'm a watchman or whatever job it may be. What's an odd job? Just a corporate crap mindset. People trying to throw so that they can make you feel less. Refuse to be inferior. Doesn't matter what you earn in whatever job you get. Respect other people. Pick the battles you can pick. Stay away from toxicness. People are too toxic right now. The environment, the society is too toxic. Pick the battles you can pick. Walk away from what you can walk away. Just because we're millennial does not mean we all have to be angry, bitter. Just handle what you can handle. If the world wants to burn, what can we do? Only the least that you can do. But speak up, because depression is killing most of us. And those are the painful facts. So you don't have to have it figured out. In fact, what's the worst that could happen if I didn't even figure it out? Not like I even knew when I came into the world, I'll have to do some things I'm doing. And learn everything that was wrong. Learn things that will help you grow. And you don't need to be caught up in the battle of the boomers and then you fighting the millennials and fighting the alpha. Don't be the toxic traits that you hated. Be the better person. I didn't say it's going to be easy. It's going to be tough. But hey, what's the worst that could happen if you refuse to be changed? Oh yeah, we'll just become a pillar of salt. Stuck. Unstuck yourself. You can do it. Just do it.